Welcome everybody to Face to Face. This is the first episode. I'm here with Brad Norman. We're here to just talk about boxing, chill, relax vibes, collaborating on a project, and of course, all things boxing. Catch your news here. We've got a lot to talk about, Brad.
Lots to talk about. This is a new show, obviously. We're trying something new. We're going to just give people updates on the fights coming up on the weekend, past results, international fights, local news, just general updates. And obviously the episode's called, or the show is called Face to Face. It's not us facing off.
Yeah.
We'll be having the biggest fights coming up in South Africa, challenges facing off. So they'll be in later in the show. And that's what it's about.
That's going to be super cool. Of course, you might have seen, well, depending on the upload list, we might have seen the face-to-face coming out. There was a huge announcement that you made coming out. So it's a big fight in the flyweight division. Prix, Jackson Chauke. I mean, I don't know even how to explain that. It's a big fight.
Yeah, so we're going to try to highlight a big fight each week. This week it's going to be Prix versus Chauke for the WBC Africa Flyweight Championship. Obviously, SA Boxing Talk, Warrior Ascent Promotions, but we're going to talk about all the promotions, all the big fights. So this week, we're going to have those guys in a few minutes, and it's probably going to get a bit heated. As you know, Jackson likes to trash talk.
Yeah, as I said, Ricardo Malajiga didn't really open up until the time Jackson Chauke arrived on the scene. And let's see if Prix is that same sort of guy. You know, Prix is a very quiet guy, in my opinion, very reserved. But you know him well, and you say he can talk a bit. So let's see if he does come out with that personality. Yeah,
we're going to have to see. Obviously, we know Jackson can talk a lot, but maybe he'll decide to surprise us and not talk at all. So we're going to have Jackson in with his trainer Damien Durant, and we're going to have Prix in with Hall of Famer Brian Mitchell here in our studio, which also doubled down as my bedroom.
I was about to ask, where are we today?
Yeah, well, technically we're in our new studio for Face to Face and my bedroom. So we're going to have, Hall of Famers standing in here and just chatting away.
Well, let's say like Ariel Hawani does stuff in his basement. So, I mean, this is a step up from that, right?
Definitely. He's a bit controversial, so we're going to try and not be like him. I feel like a lot of other boxing pundits don't really like him, but he does a good job of covering the sport.
I mean, the boxers themselves should be a little bit controversial, though. They got to sell the fight, to the public, and people got to come out and actually watch this. So, we're looking forward to see if maybe that's the catalyst to the show. Maybe the boxers just showing a little bit more of their personalities.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what they have to say, and then, let's get started on our first segment. Let's get started on past events, international events from this last weekend. Today's date is the
14th of October, I think.
We'll check on that.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's check on the
last weekend.
We confirmed this 14th. Yeah.
So last weekend we had two big, massive international fights. I don't think we had many local fights. We do have two to touch on, which we'll get to. But let's start with Boots.
Yeah, Jaron Boots Ennis. I mean, that just showed levels, didn't it? I mean, Boots Ennis destroying Lima. Like, I mean, that was his intention coming in. Like, he didn't want to go like beyond 4. I don't think. Like, he just wanted to come in, make a statement in the super welterweight division.
Yeah.
The guy carries so much power, though. Like, I can't even identify the opponent for him that's going to really bring out the best in him.
Yeah, well, what's interesting about that fight, obviously, is the fight before that, he fought Boots fought Lima, and Lima's previous fight was on Golden Gloves against Shavante Koopman, who he stopped. So a lot of people are saying now, like, oh, wow, if he did that to Lima, what would he have done to Koopman? But as you know, styles make fights.
For sure.
And if anyone who watched the fight, he got caught with a massive uppercut, like, cold. So from that point, he never really recovered in the first round. So, he got destroyed, but I didn't really know if there were so many levels apart, as they said on the one commentator said that this might be the best boxer they've ever seen live. I don't know if you caught that on the feed,
So it was, like Jaron Ennis, right? I mean, yes, okay, you might have caught Lima cold, and it was the first round. It happens to boxers all the time where they get caught cold in the first round and sort of can't recover. But it also speaks to levels, because Lima didn't know how to deal with Boots when he got into that rhythm, And yes, styles do make fights. Do I think that Koopman could have beaten Jaron Boots Ennis? Absolutely not. There is levels to boxing. It's like what we saw earlier in the year with Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Phumelela Kafu. There's levels, and it might be the same for any other contender that comes up against these quote-unquote generationals.
Yeah, that's like a pound-for-pound fighter, Bam Rodriguez. So I thought Kafu did really well. Everyone was saying, why did he stay in the corners and everything? But he was missing those hooks by inches. And everyone knows if you get caught by a Kafu left hook, you're gone. So I really thought he did well. Obviously, he was never going to win it on points because you just can't outpoint Bam. And have you seen, the other guys that have gone head-to-head with Bam have just been demolished. So I thought Cafu did really well, and I actually liked their game plan. And he just got hurt, and he just didn't land that punch. I mean, he wasn't looking for one punch. He was throwing combos, and he caught him.
Trying to catch him on the come, you know.
But yeah, he got a bit I think he got like a little bit of unfair judgment for that fight, because I thought Cafu did really well.
Look, I think Martinez is going to be a decent test though for Rodriguez. I think Martinez's come forward style is going to make Rodriguez think a lot more. Do I think he's going to be good enough to beat Rodriguez? Probably not, but he's going to probably give him the test that Rodriguez needs before he goes up and challenges like your Monster Inoues and those type of guys. Those guys from Japan, the series operators, Junto Nakatanis and those guys.
Yeah, I think I have Bam ahead of all of them, to be honest.
Wow.
Like, I haven't seen any, like, I don't know how you beat Bam.
You just don't see the cracks in his arsenal just yet, you know.
Like, you knew he's been dropped twice now.
But isn't it the same with Ennis though? Like Ennis, I don't see the cracks. It's like a Terence Crawford. You just don't see where the gaps are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Boots. So in Boots, like in Africa, who would we say? So that's obviously super welterweight. He's moved up from welterweight, which was in Bengues.
Yeah.
Bengues, like I think rated number 4 in welterweight. So in super welterweight, we've got, you've got Rourke, you've got
Brandon,
Aaron Mateba, who's just joined Warrior.
Aaron Mateba's massive, yeah.
But he's only had 7 fights.
But he's years ahead of his ability. Like in terms of 7-0, he's not your typical 7-0. I think he's years ahead of those other guys.
Where would you have him in your top 5 African super welterweights?
Probably so you'd have Rourke, Brandon, in no particular order. Rourke, Brandon, Koopman. You have to put Bugwazi in there because he's beaten Allen and he's beaten.
That's true.
And he's beaten Creed Moyo.
And they're going to be in that elimination series now. I think it's 29 November.
So it's literally, I think, the 4 best in Africa. And then Aaron Muteba fits in at 5, and not because of ability. Don't get me wrong. It's just because of opponents so far. Like, he hasn't had the opponents that Bugwazi's had. Otherwise, I would probably, ability-wise, I think he beats Bugwazi.
Yeah, and he's also, a southpaw. Yeah. 7 fights, 7 stoppages. So I know for a fact none of those guys in the top 4, besides his teammate, obviously, Tace is his teammate. I don't see any of them wanting to fight him, to be honest. And I can understand why no one would want to take that risk.
Why?
Because there's not much reward.
Why would anyone? He's like a complete version of Emmanuel Colombo. Like, he's the southpaw version. He can hit maybe not as hard as Emmanuel Colombo can hit, because that guy hits like unparalleled to his weight division. But I think he's close on that. And also, he's got boxing skills. I think he was if I'm not mistaken, like in amateurs, he was the captain of the DRC amateur team at a certain stage as well. So he's got those like long-term credentials. But in terms of like future, he's one of the guys that I genuinely believe in this country. He can go all the way.
I also think he's going to be a world champion, and he's also got the mindset. He's going to be fighting on the 16th of November at Mayhem at the Market too. But
how easy is it to get an opponents for him?
It wasn't very easy, but we got someone that accepted, and we also got someone that's willing to fight him next year. But obviously, we can't look past his current opponent because, as you know, anything can happen in boxing.
Yeah.
Let's get back to our past events from the previous weekend. Let's talk some heavyweights. So I have a take for you here. Dave Allen is like what I see as the British Sean Potgieter. What do you take on that?
She caught me off guard there. Probably, yeah. Like Pad has potential to be a journeyman. It's only that they're both a little bit better than that. I shouldn't actually say that. They actually are a little bit better than that. But skill-wise, they could probably be a good matchup for each other, actually. Imagine Potgieter versus Allen.
And why I say that, not just in terms of boxing, is that everyone loves Dave Allen, and I've seen that Sean Potgieter also has a great following just for being a nice family guy, like humble. They're like almost the same, and that's why
I think you're right. So I think if Sean Potgieter was like, let's say he was British, like he'd fit into that mold. Like he could give anyone a great fight. It's just that I think that they're gonna fall just short of like that world level. That's sort of, you have to be realistic as well in boxing. Like not everyone is going to become a world champion. And that's just the name of the game.
Yeah,
but
he's also, he hasn't won a British title yet, and Sean Potgieter
won a national.
He's had one before.
He just
lost it now to Chris.
Yeah, he beat Keaton for it.
Keaton, yeah. Well, that's actually interesting. That's when Keaton broke his jaw, but we'll get onto that when we speak about a bit more about the Grand Prix. So anything else you want to say about that fight?
So Dave Allen, I mean, I watched the fights and I thought he did incredibly well in certain moments. He got the crowd on their feet, and it was entertaining because he's not exactly your purely skilled guy. He's just going to land 1 or 2 big shots and you're going to get really excited by the whole thing. But I saw there was a thing from the Russian saying he's going to fight Anthony Joshua next. I don't think he's Anthony Joshua's level.
So I've actually seen him live, that opponent of his, the Lion. I can't say his surname.
Was it Makhmudov?
Yeah, like Makhmudov. That was perfect. So I've seen him live. I saw him when he got stopped by Kabayel in Saudi. So I watched him, and almost what he does is he stands in the middle of the ring because he's massive, and he thought everyone was scared of him because I think he had like 13 first-round stoppages in a row or something.
Yeah.
And he stands and he just like throws his punches and twists. But Kabayel was really fast and overwhelmed him. Sort of like almost when Dave Allen had him on the ropes at one stage where I thought he might stop him. That's the only way you can beat him. But he took a lot of shots trying to get in, which was the problem.
But Makhmudov's energy, his gas tank wasn't there either. It just felt like he was like if he doesn't knock you out early or if he doesn't stop you, that he struggles later on.
Yeah, and he got stopped to the body, so he took a beating. I think someone that could actually beat him would be Lorena, would be the perfect style for him.
Sure.
Because I think his head movement and bobbing and weaving could get him inside.
It stylistically could be good as well, and also that he doesn't, like, he hits really hard.
Yeah.
So Kevin can't just come in and like do his own thing. Like, he's going to actually work for that. But it's tough, man. I mean, Dave Allen looks like he hits kind of hard, but also doesn't put his punches together really nicely. Hits someone, appreciates his work.
Also the size, because Kevin obviously is a bridgerweight now.
Yeah.
He goes into heavyweight for some fights, but Makhmudov's massive.
I'd like to see Kevin continue at bridgerweight though as well, because I think that's probably where we're going to see him at his best.
And there's no one really that can take him off his pedestal at the moment. I don't see anyone that's going to... I think he could be the WBC Bridgerweight champion for quite a few years.
Yeah, I'm just there's just no one in that division right now that screams like when Okoli was there, when he was the champion. It was like, but now we've seen how the fight played out and everything like that. Stylistically, it just wasn't a good matchup for Kevin. So, I mean, who's to say it would have been? Maybe it would have been different at bridgerweights because he was so massive at heavyweight. Was Okoli? I think he was like 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah, he was huge.
It made a huge difference.
That would have definitely been a different fight, I think. And I think that's what we got on those two.
Yeah.
Then we have some local results that we had the Sabisis that aren't brothers.
Yeah.
I saw that in an article.
Yes. I didn't know that actually.
Based in KwaZulu-Natal. I see they both won their matchups. I don't know if you have a bit more on that. I think it was the IBF.
I know that they were having a close look at these guys though. Yeah, the IBF International that was on the line. I think originally Sabisi was supposed to fight Jackson Chauke.
That's the flyweight Sabisi.
Yeah, the flyweight Sabisi. Are you talking about the featherweight? So
no, they're both. I don't know. Whichever.
We're saying Sabisi, right? Sabisi.
They both won, so.
So the flyweight, he fought the 13-0 guy from China.
Yeah.
Good fight. But ultimately they originally were going to fight Jackson Chauke, which I thought would have been an interesting fight.
Oh, yeah.
And then that got pulled off. They went the IBF direction. Of course, Chauke now comes on in the WBC. He fights Prix, who we're going to see later, which I think is stylistically maybe a better fight on paper. And the other Sabisi, the featherweight, interestingly enough, there's so many good featherweights at the moment. There's so many in this country. Like they are.
I don't know if you've seen the SA ratings. They're a bit.
They're stacked.
They're a bit stacked, but in quite a strange order, I'd say.
I actually have to have a look. I haven't seen the latest ratings.
Yeah, I got them on. I'll show you. I'll get them on here. I don't know if we can put them on the feed, maybe just to show people.
Yeah. Well,
we can maybe put a screenshot of that featherweight division because it's absolutely stacked.
Okay, what's perplexing about it? Let's get into that.
So, who's our SA champion currently?
South African champion is.
Sure, we should know this. It's just a really stacked division. I must check. Let me pull out the phone. We've got the iPad here, but
is it not Baichi?
It might be. Let's see here.
Now
but you can talk about the other Sabisi in the meantime. So his opponent was obviously changed as he fought this guy from India was 13-0. But
Sabisi is the champion.
So we have Sabisi beat Baichi. Yeah. There we go. So we got Sabisi, we got Lerato Dlamini.
Yeah, international Lerato. Ishmael Kadri.
Yeah, you got Kadri number 1 as the IBF youth champion.
But now they're both signed in the same stable, so they can't fight each other.
So now...
And probably be steered in different directions. So
we got Fule, we got Kuzwayo, who's fighting now on the Killer Promotions bill. He's fighting a hard fight against the Nigerian real one. That's a really tough fight. Big step up.
That's a massive step up.
Yeah, that's a massive step up. We've
all Africa.
got this division stack. We're definitely going to put it on. We've got Becky Sizwe at number 4, which I think he should be rated higher because he's beaten
International.
Yeah, he's been fighting in
But
the
is
Saudi
he,
Grand Prix.
is he still gonna? I mean, let's say he goes on and wins this thing. He's not gonna have ambitions to fight for that SA title.
I think you're always going to want to be an SA champion.
even if you got like that WBC silver.
Even if you're going for that silver, you still want to get that. You want that belt.
Can you though?
I'm
I
sure
don't
there's a
think you
way.
can,
know,
though.
there's always a way. But
Who else is there?
we've got Jeff Magagane, we've got Knut, we've got Maduna. So it's a sick division.
That's a really, really, really good division
Yeah.
right there. That's probably, apart from the bantamweight, it's probably the best division in the country.
I'd say that's a fair take.
Yeah, I think that's but this is the thing about South African boxing. It's like always in the smaller weight divisions, you produce the best boxers.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go up
Yeah.
in the ratings, I think we've got
there's
one. I think we've got one division with one.
I think there's like
I think light heavyweight. There's
cruiserweight's
only
got no one.
yeah. Is it light heavyweight? We've got 5 rated guys.
Does cruiserweight have someone
Cruiserweight, we have a champion who's Mchunu,
with no contenders?
and we have Jason Paul. I think he's had like 3 fights, so he's good, but
Yeah, but
it's
you
not
can't-
really.
you can't put-
Mchunu's fought for the WBC world title twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, any guys that are a bit heavy set, it's your time to get into boxing because you could possibly
Yeah.
compete for an SA cruiserweight title.
If you've just had like an injury in rugby and you know you're not going to make it anymore,
Yeah.
defer over to boxing. Try your luck there. There's no competition.
There's
so
definitely an opening in the cruiserweight division.
100%. All right, and then what else is going on in the world right now? You've got Danny Garcia making a comeback as well.
That's pretty exciting. I think
really
he's fighting against the Dayan Gonzalez guy. So he's a Cuban, but he's based in Dubai.
Saw that.
So he's got a little bit, I would say, of a built record. I don't see him getting... But Garcia's last fight was atrocious.
Yeah, but Garcia's also, I think he's past his prime. I
Yeah.
think if we're looking at it, it's like the Irisandy Laras of this world, it's those type of fighters where they had their time in the sports. I think maybe now it's a cool, convenient time to come back into the sports. I don't know how impactful they're going to be on the sports.
I think it's also the co-main event of another card. I'm not sure who the main event is. I must check up on that.
Yeah.
Then locally upcoming, we have Fight Island 4 coming up. I think that's the tournament that's coming up soonest in our schedule.
Yeah.
Locally.
So October 25, Fight Island. I think it's a stacked card.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a really big card.
For Cape Town, I'm going to say for Cape Town, it's a really, really strong card because if it was here in Joburg, it would be a really good card. But for Cape Town, it's like a mega fight.
Mega card. That card was actually going to have the WBC youth title between Katompa and Malata before that bout got moved to...
Fight of the night.
Yeah, that was the fight of the night of the last Golden Gloves event. So imagine it had that on the card as well because you witnessed that fight. It was absolutely crazy. 8 rounds. Wish it was 10, but for WBC youth title, it's only 8 rounds.
They can probably do it again down the line. I mean, give them a chance to build and come back. And Adi needs at least 2 or 3 solid wins before he can start moving up. I think he's had this tendency, Brad, and probably you've seen it as well. Starts so well, ends so bad.
Yeah, I mean, this one he really started well. He had Kaya
down
on his back in the first round, and that was like a huge shock. And
Did you think he was going to win at that point? Did you think he was going to go on and stop him?
I was the bucket boy for this event.
I saw you in the
slash
corner
promoter. I'm quite an experienced bucket man. I think I've been a bucket man in Japan, Mexico, Malawi.
Certified bucket man.
Anyone needs a bucket man, not a cut man. Just get that straight.
Just
the
man.
spit bucket in the chair.
Yeah.
I'm available. He dropped him in the first, but you could see almost when Kaya got up, he wasn't rattled. He got shocked. It was like almost like what happened with the Boots fight.
Yes.
He caught him cold. Great punch. Caught him with a right. I think it was a right, straight right, and then a left hook.
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely remember it as he was. I think the left hook was the one that put him down.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that had him going down, and then he recovered, and then after that, Kaya started picking up, and he started catching Ardi, and we was trying to say to Ardi in the corner, obviously we're very close with Kaya as well, as I work with Owen and Felix Venganai. Felix is his coach, and we've got a lot of boxers at Ascent that are from the Blood, Sweat and Tears gym in Cape Town. So we knew going in that it was a 50-50 fight. We told everyone it was a 50-50 fight, and Kaya ended up winning by 1 point in a split decision. So just shows you how good of a fight it was. And I think it was the correct decision, really. Looked at it. I went straight back after the fight, rewatched it on Super Sport, and he just picked up those rounds with work rate, Kaya. And Ardi had him.
Yeah, he was edging it though.
We were trying to tell Ardi in the corner, forget power now. We know you've heard him, but if you just land more punches than him and keep him going backwards, because he was struggling a bit. Kaya, when he was going backwards, that's when Ardi was winning. The second he let Kaya Kaya dominate the ring, almost the pace of the fight, he was just picking Artie off because he's a really talented boxer. And another thing you didn't see from him is that he can fight also southpaw. He didn't really switch in that fight. So I think Kaya is a massive prospect for South African boxing. And now he's obviously the WBC Youth World Champion. I think he's the first South African WBC Youth World Champion, if I'm correct.
So it's obviously that conversation of like, you know, training, obviously Blood, Sweat and Tears is doing an amazing job with him in Cape Town. How many champions can potentially come out of that region? You know, you're working with a lot of athletes there as well. Matt Leishing is producing like crazy that side. But boxing's a long-term game, so you're going to start seeing these stars emerging over like 2-3 years' time. Yeah. And do you think Kaya's that guy?
I think Kaya's a definite star. I don't know if you saw the videos of him returning to Cape Town. There's people at the airport. He's from Khayelitsha, so he was in Kaya from Khayelitsha. Kaya from Khayelitsha. Okay. There was a huge turnout with him, and he came with these belts. So I think he could be a massive star. And I also think Cape Town, Western Cape boxing's on the rise. They're doing a lot of tournaments. They're very active, and the guys are starting to compete nationally, internationally. I mean, you had Dean Promnick fight for an ABU title in like his 6th fight, which is crazy. Yeah. He did lose, but to go for that in your 6th fight. And I think they've got Dylan Prosser, who's a good prospect. I think he's super middle, right? He's super middleweight. He's going to be on Fight Island. So Prosser, and I think the only other guy obviously would be Leo Carreri. Yeah. Gary van Staden. Gary's also coming.
Knocking on that door as well.
So we've got quite a nice mix of super middles. We've got, who else have they got in Cape Town? They've got a lot. They've got a lot of female fighters as well. Yeah. You've got Sarah, you've got Tarisa. So I think they're really on the rise. They're catching everyone now.
Isn't Kaylee's fighting as well, right?
Kaylee's making a comeback after her fight against another Cape Town fighter. Okay. When that was for the title, yeah?
The lady that beat Kaylee in the last fight, she was phenomenal. The one from, also from Cape Town. She was with Felix, training with Felix. She's a good fighter as well.
Yeah, so, Cape Town's taking over. Gauteng, we need to...
pull up our socks.
Yeah, we need to. You know what we need to do? We need to have all the promoters start having their fighters fight each other instead of avoiding each other, because that's what they're doing in Cape Town. You've got Matt Leishing and Sava Savas, Fight Island. You've got what's his name, Jackie Bryce. So now, and you've got I think another promoter. I think there's one other promoter, and they're all fighting each other, not scared to fight each other, and that's what you need.
Yeah, building up our athletes and giving them proper fights. So that's kind of what should be happening here as well.
Who else have we got on that card? If we've got a bit of time to discuss it. I'll get this for you. Oh, I just closed it.
The Fight Island.
You've got Aseko.
Yeah, you got interesting call, right? Yeah. So I saw Titetso Matikinka. He's called out Aseko.
Has he?
He has. He said that Aseko apparently disrespected him in a way, because he was talking to Luando Ngabi and on the phone, and Aseko kind of got in the way and intercepted the phone call and started chatting some shit, and then he was like, okay, let's make the fight. So it looks like if the universe has it right and I could make the fight, you got two guys that would be 9-0 after their next fights coming up against each other.
You got Aseko fighting against Klongwane, who's a bit of a journeyman now.
Yeah, and he needs to step up as well, Aseko. He's been fighting that level of fighter for a while now. So I think let's see how he'd be in a sort of bigger fighter, because I mean,
Lopez Maluleka was a good win, because Lopez is quite a tough. His record is tough. Deceiving. Lopez has always given guys a hard time, but
the rest of it is not really. Yeah. It's flattering.
I think he got actually in his second fight. He fought this Pui guy.
For a good amateur.
Ulanga fought in the last tournament. Yeah. He got dropped in this fight, if I'm not incorrect. So let's see.
He's also only 21 years of age as well, so he's got a big future ahead of him.
I can see that being a nice youth title.
But I can imagine Titetso Matikinka versus Aseko.
For some sort of youth or African title, definitely.
No, that's cool.
You've got Prosser on the card, you've got Kluti.
So Kluti is in the featherweight division as well, so that's another featherweight to add to that list.
And Sange is a strong competitor.
And then Tristan Nadu there as well, the
I saw he's calling out the SA champion.
Yeah, so it might be a while, because you still got Talent Beloy that's in the way. There's a guy from Neisner that's there as well. I forgot who that competitor was. Mikhail Jacobs, he's a good talent coming up as well.
Yeah, Jacobs is obviously also with Warrior Sim Promotions. He's a deadly southpaw. He's like the silent assassin.
Your big prospect.
he beat Tyson. I think Jackson's here.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Jackson Chauke is in the house. So you is there one thing you want to mention just beforehand?
Before we get started with these guys, we probably should have turned this on silent. Now we know for episode 2. Anything else exciting to mention?
This has been.
We
really
just
cool.
got a few announcements. So I see November's got another overseas fight.
Okay. Yes.
I'm not sure against who.
Yeah.
In Canada.
He's just put a Canada announcement there, probably on Box Show somewhere, right?
So that's really cool for
Yeah.
him. He's one of the guys that's really done well for himself. Found himself great matchups.
On his own.
Yeah, on his own.
Yeah, that's the most impressive.
He's done really
thing.
well. He's built a
Yeah.
career, life from boxing. He's made some good money. Then I see Akani's fight in Canada
Yeah.
against Rasicki.
Unfortunately, Riziki got a torn bicep. So.
There's always stories with this Rasicki guy. He's had like the most cancelled fights and his visas, so that's a bit upsetting.
Yeah.
And then I see Rourke has moved to England.
He's moved to England.
Yeah, but which I think is amazing. If you see where Rourke's come from and what he's built through boxing, I think that's an incredible story. I think we're going to have a face-to-face with Rourke, and I think him and November are in a similar place where they've really built huge careers and lifestyles. Yeah, okay, Jackson, I'm coming.
Okay.
We'll be back, I guess.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in with us next time. It's very informal, by the way. We're just kind of going with it. Brad Norman's just going to fetch Jackson childcare.
Okay.
He's waiting at the gate now. And catch that face-to-face because you're not going to want to miss that one.
Go get them.
All right, live here on SA Boxing Talk. Let's have it.